Boom. Hi. Did that make you dizzy? I'm sorry if it made you dizzy. I just really want to do something different today because I haven't done it before and I wanted to see how it would turn out. I put a spin alert down in the caption. I had a cup of coffee this morning, so yeah, this is what you're going to be dealing with today. My name is Bree. Come and chat with me. So I didn't really give you a preview of what we're going to be talking about today because I didn't. That's my excuse, and that's what I'm going to stick to because I don't have an excuse. I'll tell you a joke, but I never tell you a lie. I don't have an excuse. I just didn't. Today, I'm kind of torn on what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about, I'm stuck between should I talk about moving forward as far as like accomplishing goals and what to do after a certain phase of life ends, or do I want to talk about my thoughts on conquering the past? Took too long to get that last part out, so maybe we'll stick with moving forward and go from there. Hope everybody's having a good day today. I'm kind of just here right now, heart of a fighter. Yeah, I made that. I'm thinking about putting it on my Etsy shop, but I can't use this the print. I can't use that print on my Etsy shop. I gotta buy the license for it first. But I really like the shirt. I want to put it on my shop. But yeah, moving forward. What do you do when you feel like the life that you had started, you thought that would be your end, and it comes to an end? What do you do? Where do you go? How should you feel? Can we just give a shout out to the person that did my eyebrows? They're not perfect, but they have been brought down from this miraculous Bigfoot feet. I had the Sasquatch eyebrows going on because it takes me forever to redo my eyebrows after a while of them being done. Like they gotta grow like yay thick before I redo them. Oh yeah, I did them. Yeah, I did that. Thank you. No, yeah, I just had to do that little self care for myself today. Proud of myself. So, speaking of self care, that goes into my topic for today. Moving forward, how do you move forward with self care? How do you move forward after you've accepted that your life is different, not the same anymore? Um, for a long time, I would say even now to this day, I have a problem with change. Not so much as a problem with change, but it's hard for me to get comfortable with change because it's like it's weird being a person that has no problem with adapting. I don't like to have to adapt. Like my mind be like, why do I have to accept change? And there's somebody else out there that can accept change. Why do I have to be the sacrifice? But when certain levels of our lives or certain things in our lives are not on in agreement with our growth or in agreement with our maturity, sometimes we gotta make a move. And it'll hurt. It'll feel unfair. It'll feel like you're being toyed with, but I believe later on, as you see the process through, you'll see why the change was needed. So, growing up, I'm not going to say we moved a lot, but we moved a few times. And I remember some of the, I would say, monumental moves. One was from, we lived in a house in Harvey. I was about 9 years old. We moved from there back to Robbins, which is my hometown. We moved there and we moved in with my grandparents, my dad's parents. And that move made me have to change schools. 9 years old is kind of like a crucial age with changing schools and stuff, because at that point I was not accustomed. I wouldn't say I was accustomed to a certain school, because we had just previously made another move from Robbins to Harvey, and now we're moving back to Robbins. But it was a critical age because I was going into those close to the middle school years. And at the middle school years, I felt like I was kind of trying to figure out how to fit in, or seeing where I did not fit in. So getting used to these people, getting used to these kids, getting used to this neighborhood, even though we were not there long, it made an impact on me that I thought would be long term. So to have to move and be like, oh, okay, we're not doing this anymore. Now I have to find a new me. It kind of, I'm not going to say it bothered me, but in a sense, it did kind of bother me, simply because I think we moved. Did we move in the middle of the school year? I feel like we moved in the middle of the school year. So I had to make new friends, learn new teachers, learn a new routine, etc., etc. That happened to me again in high school because we moved back out of Robbins. So at this point, I'm like 16, 17. We moved back out of Robbins, back to Harvey. I was a junior in high school. And in the middle of my junior year, I had to transfer schools. That move hurt my soul. And it wasn't the fact that it wasn't so much as the move that hurt my soul. It was the fact that you talking about starting over from everything you know. I still to this day remember just sitting in my room just crying, because it was like, I don't want to be here. But it wasn't so much as not wanting to be in existence or in that house, but I didn't want to be at another school, which I will admit, the legal thing to do when you move is to transfer your kids to the school district. If you know how to finesse it, you ain't got to transfer your kids. I made a critical mistake in school that I had no choice but to transfer schools. Another story for another day. We'll talk about that when we talk about anger. But that transfer rocked my world completely, because I think I talked about it in the last video. At my previous high school, I was like number 3 in the class as far as GPAs. Number 3, I was like right under the salutatorian, valedictorian, salutatorian, me. I got knocked from number 3 to number 51, all because I transferred in the middle of my junior year. And the school that I transferred to, no shade, was at a lower academic standard than the school I came from. They wasn't finna reverse all of that for me. They should have, but they didn't. But I remember that move making me feel like I resented myself because my actions made me end up in a place I didn't want to be. And it also made me realize that life has consequences for your actions. So I was stuck with the choice. Do you move forward from your actions, or do you get stuck in anger and sadness? It took me a while, but I forced myself to move forward. Like I said, I transferred in the middle of my junior year. I did not let go of that anger until second semester of my senior year. At that point, I learned that I needed to let go and let life be life, instead of trying to sit in the past of what could have been or what should have been or how I felt it was supposed to be. So move forward from that. Now it's at the point where at senior year, you really should be, I would suggest, if you're somebody out there that's getting ready to go to college, or if you have children that are getting ready to go to college, I would suggest looking at the thought of colleges in junior year. I mean, you can start at freshman and sophomore year if you really, really want to be prepared, but start taking it serious in junior year, not senior year, because junior year preps you for the ACT or the SAT, whatever one you take. It gets you going, and then you can start looking at your options for college then. In my sulking, I made finding a college that more harder because I pushed back my own progress. So from that, you can take every moment that you sit and live in the past, you deter your present and you postpone your future. So don't do it. Even if the marriage ends, don't sit and sulk about the marriage. Press forward, because you never know what waits for you in the future. If you want to find or be found for love again, cool. But it can't happen if you're still sitting in the past. If you don't want to find or be found for love again, but you want to pursue that dream career, cool. But start making steps toward the progress. Don't sit and sulk about the past, because the past is gone. That part of your life doesn't exist anymore. I take that back. It exists, but it's not your present. The past and the present can't coincide together, because if you keep too much of the past in your present, how will you be able to look forward towards your future? You're making it harder for yourself. If you thought you were in your dream job, your dream career, and you get fired or you get laid off, or you find out that job is not for you, you cannot sit in despair about that, what you consider that failure. And it's not really a failure, it's just a realization. A realization or a reality check that what you thought was going to be a part of your life forever just may not be a part of your life forever, or it may not be for you in that moment. Because sometimes we jump the gun and we get into stuff too prematurely. We fumble it, and then we're stuck with the what ifs or the what do I do nows. Just because no is no right now does not mean it's no forever. Or just because what you thought was a yes is a no, that does not mean there's another. That does not mean that there is not another yes opportunity out there for you. But in order to get to it, in order to see it, you have to keep going. Keep going. So get into college. College doesn't work, like I said in the last video. I keep trying different schools. It doesn't work. I meet somebody that I thought was going to be the love of my life for the rest of my life. We get married. He's pursuing his dreams in the military. I'm trying to find where I fit in. Every military marriage will not fail. Every military marriage is not destined for failure. Every military spouse is not waiting for a Jody to come and knocking at the door. Every person in the military is not running out on their spouse. However, just like it takes for any other marriage, it takes work. And sometimes you have to enhance those communication levels. Sometimes you have to enhance that affection or time spent together, because you know that at any moment that person can be called off to war, deployment, etc., etc. It takes work, and you have to notice where the work is at. Just like with any other marriage, you got to notice what parts of your relationship need to be fixed. Sad to say for us, we didn't work. I hold no animosity towards him. I wish him the best. But now I'm at this point in my life where I have to figure out, am I going to sit and cry about the past, or am I going to move forward with my future? Now, I don't know what the future holds for me. Will I eventually give marriage another try? Yes, I will, because I want children, and I prefer to have children while married. But I'm also right now not worried about that, because I'm at this point in my life where I want to appreciate me. Something that I failed to do before going into marriage is learning to appreciate me, learning to see the value in me, learning to know me. So in the process of being married, I found and saw bits and pieces of what I thought I wanted to be myself. And some of it is still here, some of it stuck, but a lot of it was just in the moment, because that's not who I was. I was just trying to throw myself together for the good of my situation. And when my situation backfired and did not work for me, now I was stuck sitting and looking at what I had, and I was taking things apart bit by bit and piece by piece, and realizing that this isn't who I am at all. I don't know who I am. So it took for me to sit down after the arguments, after the tears, after the packing up, after the moving out, after all of that part was over. I had to sit down and look and say, what is left to me? Because I felt like there was nothing left. I did a lot of praying, I did a lot of crying, I did a lot of fasting, I did a lot of reading of my word, I did a lot of going to church, I did a lot of screaming, I did a lot of yelling, I dealt with a lot of anger. I still deal with anger at myself, because I feel like I failed at the one thing that I really wanted to get right. However, you can't be the only one to want to get it right. You can't be the only one to see. And maybe I wasn't the only one, but at this moment, that's how I feel. You can't be the only one to see where everything is going wrong. Marriage is a group effort, or should I say a unit effort? It's a union between two people. Um, you can't put all the work on one person. It takes two to tango. Just like both of y'all sleeping together, just like both of y'all going out to eat together, just like both of y'all buying and living it up together, both of y'all got to confront when it's a communication problem. Both of y'all got to confront when somebody been slacking. Both of y'all got to confront when y'all beliefs, ideas, and morals don't match. Both of y'all got to confront that, not just one of y'all. So, yeah, it took a lot of pulling apart after the fact of the marriage ending for me to see who I was. And I'm still learning who I am. But the point is that I'm pushing forward. Not looking at those things behind, but pressing forward towards what's before me. I don't know what's before me. I don't know what is going to come in the future for me. All I know is that I intend to reap the benefits of it. I know God has a plan for me. I know He has desires for me. My heart wants what He has for me, and I'm going to get what He has for me. I'm not perfect. I'm not Miss America. I'm still the biggest tomboy I know. At 33 years old, be 34 in June. So you ain't gonna get me to dress up every day. But I do know that I'm worth it. And I do know that I'm smarter than I look. And I'm greater than I feel. So, what do I do now? Where do I go? What do I say? To anybody that is having a problem in their life where they feel like they're not enough, they feel like they just can't let go of what they had, they feel like I'm not supposed to be here, this isn't supposed to be my life, what happened? I am here to tell you that remember last week we talked about time? There is a man-made clock running on the wall, and it's going to keep running, and it's going to keep running, and it's going to keep running, and you're going to keep getting older. Your body's going to keep changing. Your mindset's going to keep changing. Life is going to keep going and changing. And I would suggest you get on board with that clock. It would suck to 10 years from now, 5 years from now, even a year from now, to be sitting in the exact same spot, soaking about the exact same thing. It's not worth it. You deserve more. You're worth more. You can do more. You can have more. God says that you are worthy, even when you don't feel like it. He protects you and he holds you for that very reason, so you know that you are worthy of anything that you ask him for. Excuse me. He has designed you with a purpose, and your purpose is not to fail or feel like a failure. He's designed you to be great. He's designed you to persevere. He's designed you to use diligence. He's designed you to be a fighter. Keep going. Keep going so you can see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Keep going so you can see that ring. Keep going so you can get that house. Keep going so you can have them children. Don't look back. Look forward. Don't spin the block. Go about 90 blocks over. We need to set some boundaries. Go about 90 blocks over. Start over again. See you, love you, and appreciate you. There's another job out there. And you're going to make way more money. I lost my house. There's another house out there. Even if you got to build your credit back up from the ground up. Build your credit back up. Stack your money. Be diligent. Create a budget. And in time, you'll get back to that house. And it'll be greater than the one that you lost or left. Same thing with a car. Anything that you want is there for you. You just have to do the work, and the work is not in your past. The work is now in your present, and it leads you to a greater future. I have that faith for you, and I'm praying that you realize how great you are and what you can do. Boy, girl, black, white, Polynesian, Asian, African, Indian. It don't matter who you are, what race, color, or creed. There is a plan for your life, and God will get you to it. You just got to keep moving. Don't get discouraged. Yes, it gets hard. Yes, you get moments where you feel like you hit rock bottom. And yes, there are moments where you really do hit rock bottom. But the thought is to keep going. The action is to keep going. The prayer is to keep going. got it. And I know you got it because I got it. You couldn't have told me when I left in September. You couldn't have told me that I would be feeling the way I'm feeling right now. You couldn't even have told me that I'd still been alive. You couldn't even have told me that I'd have still been moving and trying, but here I am. And I'm doing it to the best of my ability because I'm not perfect. And neither are you. We're all imperfect beings, striving our best for perfection every day. But you got this. And God got you. I'm done. That's literally all I wanted, just to throw some encouragement out there to y'all this day. Like, subscribe, comment, like, subscribe, comment, and share it to a friend. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all feel. My name's Free. Thanks for coming to chat with me.